Hi everybody, welcome to a special edition of Bennington Made. This is the series that we put together with Cat TV that highlights the best Bennington products made right here in our hometown, Bennington, Vermont. We want to take this time because it's been over a year since we've been shooting these great series starting right there at Bennington Potters. And so we want to take time to highlight a little bit of every episode over the past year that has highlighted Bennington products made right in your hometown. Stay tuned, I think you're going to enjoy the show.
Because we know how it's made, we can make it well. We have our minds attached to our hands, and we're basically looking at the final product and thinking about it, so the throughput through all those 15 stages stays constant. The commitment of the operator, the person, to excellence. This is our signature mug, the trigger mug, and I want to tell you a couple of customer stories. Back last December, a couple of months ago, we got a letter from a man that basically had a series of pictures and some journal entries showing us the travels of a man in his mug. And actually, yes, the story started in Vietnam, end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s, and went for 40 years as he went to various postings. He was in the service, and he had just retired, and he wanted us to know and to see where our mug has gone. Come on over and see it made. Thank you.
So talk to us a little bit about three-dimensional. Why here, why now?
Okay, well, I'll give you a little bit of history. How it began was I had a tour of Command Composites with Jim Sharkey, and he and I went around the plant, and I was amazed by what was going on there. I mean, the sophisticated manufacturing here in Bennington, the fact that they're shipping things around the world, you know, scanner beds for medical devices, parts that are put into airplanes and into space. So at the end of it, and they're doing CNC, sophisticated routing, to mold things at the end. And so we gather back in his office, and at the same point, we both say, we should do a show around this. So that was about 2 years ago. Then I discovered that John Isherwood at Bennington College is teaching a course in 3D digital design. And it was those two things that came together, the discovery that there's a lot of this going on in Bennington already, and then that the college is training the next generation, and we thought, bingo, let's do a show.
So we did all these renovations back in 1999. My mom and dad decided that we were going to renovate and bring the bowling Bennington lanes back to what was state of the art. And my parents reinvested over $500,000 in '99 to do the renovations of the scoring system from automatic to the ball returns. We went from wooden lanes to synthetic lanes. This is where all the pins turn, and we call this the pin deck. Sometimes if the pin gets turned going the wrong way, we'll call it pin jam, and you'll have to come down and clear out all the pins and reset it. But these machines are from the 50s. We get them worked on yearly by a head mechanic. He comes in for a week in the summer and usually comes down for a week in the wintertime and does general maintenance. And then our manager, Peter, also does general maintenance for us on a daily basis, because you have to maintain the machines to keep them running smoothly. But machines still running from the 50s. Here we go, on the green. I bounced up. There you go, people, 29.5 distance to the pin. You can come on in and get as close to it as you can too. I'm Babbling Brook of Babbling Brooks Indoor and Golf. Come on in and see me.
This is the watercolor. Yep, it's an original watercolor with a nice mat around it. And then this is a piece of glass that Ron just cut.
You guys watched me cut.
Yep. And then this is the frame that's going to go on it. So now you have an idea of the craftsmanship that goes into making custom frame, where every one is made to the customer's request or requirements or what they would like to have hanging on their wall. We've been doing this since May 1st, 1972. So very shortly it'll be 44 years type of thing. So, and we enjoy doing it. It's nice working with people and coming up with creative solutions to their framing needs.
These are the ingredients that we start with to make our spirits. So our rum is a Caribbean fancy molasses. Very sweet, excellent for cookies, but makes a wonderful rum. The gin, we're flavoring the gin with coriander, juniper berries, and angelica root. You want to take a sniff of that and smell what the... So that's a heavy hit of what our gin's going to be. It'll be a little lighter once you have the spirits in it. And then our whiskey is a wheat whiskey. So we have red wheat from over in Northampton, or Northfield, Massachusetts, two-row malted wheat and corn, local here from Vermont. So we're going to put this together, mash it in, ferment it, and then we're going to age it in barrels, new oak barrels for the first batch will probably be about 6 months. We'll be ready for Christmas.
Great.
So right now we have our Covered Bridge rum that we're doing tastings with on the weekends. You're going to get a fruit nose, more tropical fruits, some banana in there, and then you're going to have a nice soft finish.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
It's good.
All right. Stop by and visit.
Yeah.
So this is where it all starts. This is our camera model database. We actually get the cameras in from the manufacturer, and our craftsmen here make a wooden model of the camera so that as our bags are made in the future, we can test the fit of each case on each one. All the cases are hand sewn together, variety of materials that they work with, from extra padding to plastic clips. There's also different types of foam that they put into the cases. It's some pretty heavy-duty work, and these heavy-duty machines are required to be able to handle that level of craftsmanship. In the industry, I've heard from several people that Port-a-Brace really has a good reputation for their quality. That's why people buy it. They want something that's well made and that's going to last.
Yep.
I'll set them here one at a time, lay out the lengths I'm going to be making, zip them off. See if they stack as well. I hope so. I hope so.
Ta-da! Looks good.
There you go.
It begins with the concept. What do we want to do? How do we want to do it comes later. The first thing is trying to establish the next project to focus on. Once we focus on a project, we put the pictures up on this board here, and it starts to kind of get the creative juices flowing. There's a lot of different projects here, by the way, but that gets it started.
As you can see, it's a lot of labor goes into the dolls that we make, and People want to know why are the prices so high? Well, it's the labor. It's not what they're made of, although we do use the best in quality materials, but it's the time. Time is what takes up all of the expense. And this is the finishing, touch where we make sure everything is as it should be, that the doll is well constructed, and it gets its hairdo touched up and what have you before it goes into its deluxe gift box and then goes to its new home.
This is our grain room. Not much to look at, but this is where it begins. So I equate brewing really to baking bread or making a big pot of chili. You begin with a recipe. So again, like I stated before, it's kind of my job to create these recipes. So recipes have ingredients, obviously. So most beer starts with base grain, so barley, whether that be pale malt, pilsen, wheat, what have you. So this basically hooks in here. And then this will hook in here as well. So basically what you're getting is water being fed through this copper, and then the grain coming through. So as you can see, there's all those little holes in there, and water literally sprays through those pretty vigorously. And what's happening is as your malt is coming down through, it's basically wetting it, getting it ready to steep. All this water, wort, sugars will push down through. It'll go up through here, around, and into the kettle. We're waiting for this to boil again, and once it starts boiling, then we'll add that first hop addition, as we said, and we go from there. All right, Matt, so here we are at the end. Best part of the job here. You get to sample some Nor'Beaster.
Awesome.
All right.
So, hit me up with some Nor'Beaster.
All right.
I got this. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Matt, how you doing today?
Thanks for joining us for the shoot. And for having us on Bennington Made, and we're excited what you guys are doing in Madison's, and excited to see what comes. Cheers. Some good stuff.
You can see the conveyor belt going up. Why don't we recycle your stuff? Let's throw it on. Yes. All right. So we'll take it from here. And so the material came up from our recycling bin, came up the in-feed conveyor, and now it's getting broken into its parts.
Very cool.
So as you see, he's grabbing the stuff that the guy separated, and he just keeps feeding that chute, and that's
fits about how many pounds of?
Each one of those bales weighs 1,600 pounds, so almost a ton. So when the trailer goes and off to West Rock in western New York. What we're going to talk about is what to do with this. Okay. What to do with this and our other food waste, and how do we process it and what do we turn it into. Yep. So we start with a variety of feedstocks. Feedstocks are ingredients. Basically, we're making a recipe. It's very kitchen correlation. So the ingredients to our recipe are food waste, which we've got a pile of this over here. And that's from supermarkets, that's from restaurants, that's from schools, the hospital in Bennington, the vet's home. So we do all the large institutions in town. Okay. So we mix food waste with some other stuff. We have a pile of horse manure here that we pull off of. This is old hay, some corn stubble it's called, which is basically when they come through and take off the ears and what's left they bale up, and we use that as a feedstock or an ingredient. You'll see down below a pile of leaves. That's the leaf waste from the town transfer station. And then on the far side of that jet black pile is actually high carbon wood ash. Okay. So one feedstock that I didn't mention that is a part of our mix is money residuals. So what we see here is short cotton fiber from the Crane Company down in Dalton, Mass. And so when they make paper, or when they make currency, this is the short cotton fibers that come through the screen. So this was destined to be a $100 bill, and now it sits in our pile.
Not quite $100.
No, we've worked very hard to try to figure out how to put it back together, but alas, we can't do it. So this gets mixed. So Matt in the loader is taking out all of these feedstocks and we blend them together here on the pad.
Okay.
This is a 12-inch thick compacted gravel pad, and any of the runoff that comes off of this pile goes into a lined pond, and then we pump that to a sewer treatment plant, or we reuse it in dry times. This is all broken down. There's no odors now.
Nope.
And that's our finished compost.
Hopefully you've enjoyed taking a look back at a year's worth of Bennington Made. We thank you so much for your viewership, and we hope you continue to watch the episodes that we produce with Cat TV and the Chamber working together. Thank you so much, and on with the show.